Hello, this is Emma of EmmaLiveYoga and welcome to this yoga class for lower back pain. So this is something that I get sporadically, and these are some of the moves that I do to help me with lower back pain. It can be really debilitating, particularly if it goes into spasm or it goes into an acute stage, in which case obviously it's best to seek out a doctor and take further advice. But if it's just everyday niggles and pains in the lower back, there are a few things you can do, and certainly things I do, which is why I practice yoga to help with those things. So things you will need for this little class, bolster would be good if you have one. If you don't worry, you could use some sofa cushions or some pillows and a couple of bricks as well. I'm sitting on one of these bricks in the interest of back health, so you might want to do that as well. So come into comfortable seated, however that looks. Now, if you need to come to a chair, that's also great. Bring the hands to Anjali Mudra. We'll begin with the vibration of Om. Take a breath in. Om. So then take a few moments to check in with how you're feeling in your body. Maybe you have lower back pain, sensation there, discomfort. How are you feeling in your thoughts and your emotions? Know that these are all interconnected, so it can affect your mood, can affect your mind, can become agitated if you feel discomfort or pain. So just be aware of those things. A spirit of acceptance, knowing that we have this healing practice to help with all those aspects, all those layers of being. So then take a deeper breath in. Exhale, gently open the eyes. So from here, we're going to begin from an all-fours position. So this is one of the initial releases I do if I've got lower back pain. A nice way to get some elevation is to bring bricks underneath the hands. It just gives you a little bit more space through your lower back. You can press your hands into the bricks. That's it. Take the knees about shoulder distance apart. Draw the shoulders back. Inhale. And on the exhale, just have a little sway from side to side. And just remember to connect this movement to the breath. That's it. Just easing in. It doesn't have to be a big movement, but I often find this relieving. So just see how you find this. A bit more space is created. And just take some of the pressure out of the lower back. Good. So then we'll come to center. From there, we'll take hold of the bolster or whatever you're using today. And just bring that to the middle of the mat. From there, knees are already either side of the bolster. And you can just sink yourself down carefully, sink the belly down onto the bolster. Just do a wardrobe adjustment. Coming all the way down. And you can rest the head either straight down or over to one side. As you arrive, soften the shoulders. And as you feel the contact of the abdomen with the bolster, you may feel the capacity to gently expand the back muscles. And this can relieve any tightness which may have led to spasm or discomfort there. So really, we're just using the breath to release. Nice deep breaths. We feel the compression which takes the breath into the back of the lungs. And then on the exhale, we can surrender and let go. Softening the shoulders, maybe closing the eyes. If you wish to, we're halfway through this release, so if your head is to one side, I would recommend you carefully turn the head to the opposite side. So the neck stays in a state of balance. Breathing and feeling. And this also helps to soothe the nervous system, because often when we anticipate pain or discomfort, we tense up, we tighten. So then our system goes into more of a fight and flight, red alert. So we want to bring it back to the parasympathetic system of rest and digest, where the body and the mind receive the message that all is well, all is well. Just take in a final breath here. And then squeeze the pelvic floor. Inhale, carefully walk this back up. So you might just bring the forearms to rest on the bolster. Good, exhale. We'll come back to the original position. So again, you can just have an extra sway there from side to side. And just see how that feels. And then move the bolster over to one side. Bring the bricks in once again, but this time bring the bricks in at a high setting. Walk yourself up onto the bricks. If you're in pain, just do this carefully. So you walk the bricks in. And we'll come to Anjaneyasana. So on the inhale, you can step the left foot through. Little tip, if you find that difficult to do, can be difficult, is to take hold of the back of the knee, especially if you've got any back issues, and then just walk the foot forward, and it just makes it easier to place. That's it. Hands come to the bricks. So often our back discomfort comes from the hips. I found that's a big connection with me. I feel it in my hips first, and then it goes into the back. So just see how you feel. So you can keep this knee where it is. You can scooch it further back, but wherever you are, try and lift, keeping that knee to ankle alignment. And try to release through the right groin, the right hip flexor. Now you can bring some gentle micro movements to this. Good. Keep the breath moving. So we're saying it's okay, body. We're just doing some gentle stretches. We're just easing out. Good. We're just gently easing out the hips. Chest stays gently lifted. And then we can come back to center. Gently lean back initially so that you can then take the left leg back or help it back as you need to. Pause there. Again, we have a little sway, nice and high on the bricks. I find the higher I am, the better it feels. So just see what you feel like. It can be difficult sometimes with the lower back to get up and down from the floor. So kind of the bricks make up that distance for you. So then inhale, stepping through with the right leg or helping the right leg through. Exhale, easing into your Anjaneyasana as you draw the shoulders down. Try and relax them as best you can. Check that knee to ankle alignment. Inhale, press into the front heel for stability, and then exhale again. You can bring a sway from side to side or any kind of micro movement, intuitive movement that feels relieving. And this will be different on everybody. That's okay. So just do what you need to do. Good. Steady breathing. Mind is calm. Shoulders are releasing. And then come back to center. Squeeze the pelvic floor. Inhale. Begin to transition the weight back. Exhale. So you can guide that right knee in. So then we come to another posture that I find therapeutic. It depends how your knees feel. So you can sit back on the heels in Virasana. I find this stabilizing. If that's too much distance to travel, you can stack a brick or even two bricks between the heels and the sitting bones. So this helps with knee issues. It also helps maybe the firmness of the bricks feels more stable through the sacrum and the lower back. So your mind feels happier with that. So just try those positions. If it doesn't work, then just come down. It's okay. Just come to the sitting bones. Bring the hands to Anjali Mudra. This posture appears in the Hatha Yoga Parapika as one of those central postures which has so many benefits. But for us, with our back issues, this is just really grounding and settling for the body and for the mind. So we can breathe up and down the spine while feeling that lovely support beneath us. And again, this can relieve muscle tightness. You can relieve the mind from that constant state of vigilance that we sometimes have. This is the final breath. And then exhale. Good, so releasing that, carefully release the bricks. So we're going to do a little bit of building next. So we have one brick here, and we have one brick on the higher setting just behind it. From there, you can bring your bolster to rest on those two bricks. Do make sure that it's stable. Good. If you're using your pillows, you might take this a bit lower down just for safety. And then shift the hips up to the end of the bolster. You can slide the knees out if you wish to make it more spacious in the lower back, or you can keep them stacked. It just depends how you feel. And then inhale, turn to face the bolster. This is a gentle twist, reclining twist. And on the exhale, just pour yourself down. So your head is facing in the same direction as the knees. This is a yin release, yin yoga release, I find really therapeutic. It's a very gentle twist and it's lovely and supported. So you just connect with the breath, begin to deepen the breath and soften. So you let go of any sense of holding or alignment, and we just soften. Now, as you deepen the breath, really drawing that from the pelvis, you'll feel sensation around the lower back. If it's too much to breathe deeply, then just introduce the breath into those little pockets of tightness or holding, which you may have. And we have those involuntarily often. We're holding subconsciously. So just see. Nice and easy. All is well. Another option you have is to slide out the top leg. Sometimes that can be relieving. So always play around with your postures, see what works for you. So if your hips are tight, that just affords an extra little release there. We'll just have a few more breaths. Good, so then we'll change sides. The inhale, you can draw the knee in if you extended the leg. Exhale. The easiest way for you to change sides is to simply turn on the axis. So you limit the amount of movement to the lower back. You kind of just spin on the axis of the sitting bones, and then you can go back in from there. So from there, hips come back up to the bolster. Inhale, turn to face the bolster, and then exhale as you sink down. Breathe. Try and soften around the shoulders, the shoulder blades. It might be again that you slide the top leg out or not, just do what you need to do. Remember the healing power of the breath, so just keep breathing into those lower back muscles and allow gravity to do everything else. Two more breaths. From here, same exit strategy, slide the hands in. Inhale, carefully lever yourself back up. And then from here, we'll come to a comfortable seated position. I'll show you another one that you can do. You can create a perch with your bolster and your bricks. So you might have one or two bricks up on the bolster and just kind of perch yourself in the middle and then take the legs wide. Again, this can be relieving for the lower back. Bring the hands to Anjali from there. So this is an alternative seated position that you can practice and take it as high or as low as it needs to be. This is also a nice position to fold. You might try just folding forwards and just let the head dangle. So you can also release through the upper back and the neck. So often they're neglected because we're so focused on the lower back, but of course everything is connected. So it's important to address all areas of the back. And sometimes you have referred pain coming from different areas, so it's good to release everything gently. And then squeeze the pelvic floor, inhale to lift back up, and exhale. So thank you for joining me for this lower back session. I hope there's some ideas there to help you manage your back issues. Remember, there's always things you can do in yoga, so never feel helpless. There's always stretches you can do, breath practices that you can do. So thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed the class, press the like button and remember to subscribe to my channel. I would love that. Thank you. Take care.